hi YouTube. Today is February 21st, 2016, and this topic is about the Milo, if I pronounce his stage surname Yiannopoulos properly, who gives a shit. Milo is the Illuminati shill, and I know it from at least 4 reasons. Reason number 1, he is not targeted individual. Everybody who is out there and who is not targeted individual is part of the triad, which means either reptile. Illuminati means human person which went through the reptilian programming and survived it, but ended up mind controlled and pretty much as a robot. Oops, mango. And then you have a third level, which are the psychopaths, which are simply human containers infested by the demonic power. When that demonic power can change its appearance in the third D, it's a reptile shape-shifting, which is the highest level of the psychopathy. And well, you also have a psychopaths who, reptiles, which can control their shape by using very advanced holographic technology. Apparently, they have these gadgets on their belts, or even closer to the skin. So, about the Milo. Yeah, you probably noticed that I'm coming from the hardcore conspiracy scene. So first thing about Milo, as I said, he's not TI. Second thing about Milo, he is really pushed into media to represent the alt-right.
He's been described by some liberals an anti-Semite, a white nationalist. Have they got that wrong?
Well, Breitbart is a company staffed almost entirely by Jews. I am a gay Jew, and he made me into a star. He, flew over from America to hire Raheem Kassam to run the London office, who is a, brown-skinned Muslim. This stuff is ridiculous. What a lot of Brits don't always understand is how ugly and terrifying American politics can be. The name-calling can be absolutely extraordinary, and lots of Brits...
And name-calling by Breitbart. I mean, that is ugly. Look at these headlines.
Well,
Would you rather your child had feminism or cancer?
Well, that's not Steve,
There's no hiring bias against women in tech. They just suck at interviews. That's extreme. That's ugly.
No, it's not extreme. They're my headlines. They're not Steve.
Which is created for the race war, and which, of course, is going to be pushed towards that way. So third thing about Milo, I think it's obvious to everybody, he's pederast.
Well, this is it, you see.
Against the
this
Lord.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People are only gay to be transgressive.
Why
They
don't you just
choose
pray
to
the
be
gay away,
gay to be
Milo?
naughty.
How come you're not praying?
Naughty.
How come you're not praying the gay
They
away?
choose to be gay to be
it
naughty.
seems like you have all
and now
the
being
right
a
components
homosexual
in place
I know,
to pray the gay away.
I just can't
full belief
tear
and
myself
respect
away
for Christian
from the dick.
values.
Can't tear myself away
Come
from the
on.
dick. Enough tried.
Maybe as you get older
Maybe
and
I
your
should be
sex
celibate or
drive
something.
dries up a
I
little
always
bit.
think I would have made a good priest. Do you think I'd make a good priest? I think I'd make a good priest.
Well, you make a good priest if you think the guy that made you suck his dick was a good priest. That kind of good priest.
He was a great priest. Honestly, like he was the...
he was good other than that?
I've never had a better singing tutor. He was great.
Singing teacher.
He got notes out of me I didn't even know I could produce.
Ha ha! Well, he worked your plumbing.
Shattering the chandeliers, kind of.
But was he good outside of what he did? Like, was he a good religious scholar? Was he a good teacher?
I think he was just a parish priest. I mean, I
just
really
a fucking creep getting his dick sucked then.
Yeah, he's gonna get lynched now.
How's he gonna get lynched? Do people know who he is?
I don't think so.
What's his name?
Well, I'm not saying anymore.
Well, how old were you at the time?
I don't know, just
you were a little kid, and he was like what?
You're trying to.
Was he in his 20s or 30s?
Yet another feminist strategy that you have adopted in addition to your language policing.
Trying to out pedophiles?
No, trying to go on this.
You were the one who was anti-pedophile earlier.
I told you it wasn't the pedophilia. I was after I lost my virginity. I was in my teens. I was in my teens.
14.
I was in my teens.
Something
like that.
That's what you said. 14 is pedophilia, buddy. I don't know how they rock it in merry old England.
I was in my teens.
Over here in my country, and
fucking
where you are right now,
You've
America.
never seen a 15-year-old girl at any point in your life, however old you were, you've never seen a 15-year-old girl you thought was hot.
Yeah, when I was 15.
No, when
Thought
you were
they hot as
25. When you were 25,
I'm not retarded, dude.
When you were 25, when you were 30, you will have seen girls about 15 you thought were hot.
No,
of course
I thought they were
you
little
did.
kids.
No, you didn't.
I thought, damn,
Don't talk
she's
bullshit.
gonna be hot, but I didn't want to fuck her.
Bullshit. Like
Not bullshit at all.
Look,
you can't tell me what I was born into.
I think if you're 14...
Born like this.
You were born this way. You were born a dreary nitpicker.
No, you're trying to make it so I'm a fucking creeper like you. No, I'm not into 14-year-olds. How dare you, sir? No.
I'm not into 14-year-olds.
Well, that
Don't
fucking
put this
guy
on
that
me.
you said's a great guy. He was into 14-year-olds.
Fantastic. It's
Yeah, he's a
fantastic.
terrible person.
No.
He certainly was.
I was a very mature 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Call it gay or happy. I call it pederasta. Pederastia means those who love boys. Meaning that, you know, as a circle goes, abuser becomes abused. But in this case, when we're talking about Illuminati, you have to understand that these people are spiritually tainted, as well. Gay people in pederastas in general are spiritual tainted. That means a sinister power is dwelling with them, and of course playing with their sexuality to turn them into the predators.
So this guy, who's made it his shtick to be a flamboyant, queer as a $3 bill walking controversy, has said what? Something controversial. That's his thing. That's how he's stayed relevant. He's a narcissistic edgelord that gets off making those that self-identify as victims salty. He's the Madonna of political commentary. Scandal, shock, controversy, and accusations are the currency within which the man trades. Think about it. I've rarely seen a public appearance of Milo's where he didn't go on about his homosexuality or his predilection for black cock. With Milo, lots of people on the extreme right despise him because he's gay and a Jew that loves to talk about black cock. Incidentally, and funnily enough, the extreme left hates him because they think he's a neo-Nazi racist. Is he a Jew or a Nazi? Is he a lover of black cock or a racist? Moral zealots that are more concerned about signaling their ideological purity than choosing winning tactics have been what has screwed over both ends of the political divide over and over and over again. Looks like the right didn't learn from the spectacular defeats of the left in 2016. And here's the point. Unconventional personas like Milo should not only be welcomed but also championed by those that are right of center. Because of his many badges of victimhood, being gay and Jewish, he has successfully disarmed the left's identity politics. Milo was making great headway for the right in the culture war that it's been losing for generations. He was actually making it cool for college kids to reject the Marxist drivel that they're spoon-fed daily and embrace anti-political correct stances.
Persuasion or some game going on, and you know how it goes. If you watch the Pizzagate and other files, it's of course murder connected. And this also brings me to explanation why I know that he's born in Illuminati since 2012, since I started to censor on the C, thanks to the all advancements which happened, which is a long story. I can sense this typical Illuminati vibe, which is, just to remind you, if you're a new one here, Illuminati are people who are not what the internet says they are. They are not that 7 or 13 bloodlines, and that's about it. They represent 1% to 2% of the humanity, which has a little bit better DNA than us. They have, some of them have psychic powers, they can read minds. Most of them have stronger bodies, they have more physical strength, they have higher IQ. You can see also by him that he has a higher IQ. And overall speaking, they consume human flesh and blood on rituals. You know that hundreds of thousands of children are missing in Europe per year. European Commission is estimated 250,000. Milo is not talking about that. And because they consume their blood and hormones, this is how they also gain their psychic powers, because there is no such a thing which is potent, more potent than the human blood and human organs when it comes to the prana, when it comes to the hormones, when it comes to the pure nourishment. And he has this vibe, as Julian Assange, as Ivan Pernar, as many other freedom fighters from newest age, speaking about 2016, 2017 and that scene. And what else to say about him? Well, of course that he's placed there carefully to start representing alt-right in a very pervert way, because he's representing the white males and who are heterosexual, who are instinctively going MGTOW because they're they're disgusted by the whole gay scene, pedo scene, trans scene, feminist scene, and woman bitching scene, and all that reptilian shit. And now somebody precisely from there is coming to the side I, as a white male, can understand, and starting now to represent us, which is disgusting. But I feel sorry for the people who buy it, and on the other hand, it's impossible not to buy it if you really don't know the background, because guy is charming, guy is eloquent, he has a very, very quick processor, his IQ is very high, which is typical for the Illuminati, and that's about it. You guys tell me what you think, feel about him. I'll just give you another example of a brilliant spin which I noticed very, very early on, same day when it happened.
Violent protests erupting overnight at UC Berkeley. The campus locked down as more than 1,000 people rallied against the appearance of a controversial editor from Breitbart, Milo Yiannopoulos. The clashes escalated, the speech was canceled, and just moments ago, President Trump did weigh in again. ABC's Kana Warworth is on the scene in Berkeley with all the latest. Good morning, Kana.
George, good morning. It was a terrifying night. Campus police issuing a shelter-in-place order after college Republicans invited Milo Yiannopoulos to speak. Now, behind me, this is a police generator that was knocked over and set on fire when these protests turned into a riot. Overnight mayhem on campus. The University of California, Berkeley erupting in flames as over 1,000 came out to protest an appearance by the self-described right-wing internet troll Milo Yiannopoulos.
We will not tolerate racism or sexism or hate crimes and violence. He's a fascist, and Berkeley did not welcome him.
At least 6 people were injured, including this Trump supporter who was pepper sprayed. The university canceling the speech.
Hey, Milo, we shot you down.
Riot police even retreating to the building for safety. You can hear them urging the crowds to leave.
I think we have a right to say that we don't want him here. And
the standoff intensifying as protesters lit fireworks, police firing back.
It's going too far right now. This is uncalled for. This is not going to get no message across.
Yiannopoulos, an editor for Breitbart News and an avid supporter of President Trump, responding on Facebook, posting this video.
Because they're so threatened by the idea that a conservative speaker might be persuasive and interesting and funny and might persuade, might take some people with him. They just have to shut it down at all costs.
And President Trump taking to Twitter this morning, asking the question, no federal funds if UC Berkeley does not allow free speech. Robin.
All right, Kana, thank you very much.
When it was that big thing, when he was supposed to have a speech and then leftists started to riot, at the end of the day, a few broken noses and one girl pepper sprayed, but it was all over the news, and it's still in the news. And this is like typical thing how they play. You see, that leftist scene is created by them, same as that Milo scene is created by them, and then they create a clash by those two sides which represent two different forces in society. Let's say pro-abortion and anti-abortion force, and then you immediately have, big drama going on. And if you can't see through that, then I'm really sorry about you, but now I just pointed, so it should be obvious. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you like it. If you have any comments, say below. If you troll, I'm just gonna clean you, no problem. I have no problem with cleaning you guys. Cheers.